One that we've talked about before, but that I knew I wanted to bring up again, and one that we're involved in as God's people here at Calvary, is an opportunity to be in conversation with friends, with neighbors, and with one another about the God that we follow, about the God that we serve, the God that we love, and the mission that He is on in our world. And if you think about how I frame that, to be in conversation, that's really a really small part of Sunday morning. And that's okay. That's not a bad thing. But Sunday morning, if you notice, you're all facing this way and I'm facing that way, and it's not really conversation. If anything, it's a scripted dialogue. And we center our Sunday morning around the promises of our God and His word spoken to us. And we read those words, we recite those words, we sing His praise. And Sunday morning has a very central place in our lives as Christians. But it's not really the place where we grow in a relationship with one another and where we have a lot of conversation. We talk a little bit around coffee after church, and that's a beautiful piece of this life together. But there's a whole week beyond that. And there are other times that we gather as God's people and other spaces in which we form a relationship and we have different conversations and we get to know what's going on in one another's lives, whether that's a quilting group meeting on campus or another Bible study or just doing some work together around the campus, fixing something up or taking care of how it looks, gathering in each other's homes. And one space that we've created to invite friends into, to engage in some of those conversations, and where we know that Jesus is going to be brought into the conversation, is Alpha. That's really why we're doing it. It's creating that space where we can invite friends who might not be ready to come into this space, and friends whom we realize even if they came to this space, it's not a space where they can ask their questions. Because, quite frankly, I wrote my sermon on Wednesday and Thursday of this week. So if they show up a question Sunday, the two might not match up. And we recognize that. Sunday morning plays a central role in our lives as Christians, but when it comes to our outreach, when it comes to engaging others and dialoguing and being in conversation, we need other spaces too. And so I want you to watch a video, a little bit, just to sort of reintroduce and re-explain, if you will, a little bit of what Alpha is and how it works. And then I want to talk about the opportunity that you probably already saw in your bulletins and why that's there in front of you. Andy, would you play the video?
Life is busy. Every day we ask questions like, what's happening today? What should I wear? How am I going to fit everything in? But then there are bigger questions like, why am I here? What's my purpose? Where am I heading? Is there more to life than this? These are some of life's big questions, but there's rarely enough time to think them through. That's why Alpha exists. Alpha is a place to explore life's big questions in a safe and open environment. It's a series of sessions where anyone can share their thoughts and opinions and ask questions without feeling judged. When you come to an Alpha, you'll notice that first, there's food. Whether it's a full meal or a light snack, this is the time to get to know each other in a casual setting. Next, you'll watch an Alpha talk. The talks are created to engage and spark conversation. They explore big issues around faith from a Christian perspective. After the talk is a time for discussion. This is the most essential part of any Alpha. It allows everyone to share their own opinions on the ideas presented in the talks. It's a time for people with different thoughts, beliefs, and experiences to ask honest questions and have open conversation. Every week, there are guests coming for the first time to an Alpha in their community. Alpha is for everyone, regardless of background or beliefs. There's no pressure, no follow-up, and it's completely free to attend. Come and explore life's big questions. Find an Alpha near you today.
So it's just a reminder that conversation space and why we choose to run Alpha, why we want to do this. We want to create a space for that conversation where we know that Jesus is going to be a part of the conversation. And where we know even as we listen and we engage friends who might have different opinions or a different take on some aspect of faith or God or prayer or who Jesus is or any of those things, if they come back the next week and they continue the conversation, they're going to hear the gospel once again. They're going to hear the good news about Jesus once again. And we're going to trust that that's going to be the thing that changes lives. And I want you to know what Alpha is for yourselves, because as we're running a course right now, when we finish this course and we look to the future, we'll run another Alpha course. And after we run that one, we'll run another Alpha course. And after we run that one, we'll run the same Alpha course once again, because we will continue to have friends and neighbors who need that conversation. And we need to continue creating a space for that conversation where we can be involved as God's people and we can allow the Holy Spirit to work through us. And if an opportunity for something else shows up that engages that conversation even better, then we'll do that instead of Alpha. But until that point, we'll commit ourselves to continue being in this conversation and creating that space. And right now, Alpha is the tool that we're using to do that. So what I want to invite you to do as an individual is on the sheet I've given you, I want you to come to Alpha at least one night. Because at some point, God will place someone in your life who needs an invitation into that conversation. And you will be in a much better position to invite if you know what in the world you're inviting them to. So it's just that much right now. I would love for everyone in this room to come to one night of Alpha. And if you need to take this home and look at your calendar and think about it and bring it back next week or during the week, that's fine. But if you know you can come one of these dates and you're ready to check a box, and just leave it in the entry to the church. The main reason that I'm even asking, well, two reasons that I'm asking you to tell us. One is for food, so we can plan to have enough. Because if we have an extra 20 people next week, that'll take some planning. But two, I know if you check a box and you write down your name there, then you're more committed too. And you'll put it on your calendar and you'll make a point of showing up. And I just want you to come so you know what Alpha is, so you know what the conversation's like, and so that at some point, if God opens that door with a family member, with a neighbor, with a coworker, with a friend, and you think, I think you might really enjoy the conversations we have at this thing called Alpha, you're ready to say that. And you're ready to invite. And you're ready to say, and would you want to come with me sometime and check it out? That's what I want you to be prepared for. And right now, getting prepared is just a matter of showing up at least one night. So consider that. Respond if you're ready, or pray about it. And if you really want to come and none of the dates work for some reason, or you got Sunday evening commitments or whatever, you can, if you want, you can let me know. Or if you have any other questions about Alpha, please talk to myself or someone else that you know is involved with Alpha this time around. Right now, I want to invite Hank, our elder, up for our readings.